The era of seeing is believing has abruptly ended. We have entered a time where our eyes and ears, the primary senses we have relied upon for millennia to navigate reality, can be deceived with terrifying ease. A video of a world leader declaring war, a voice message from a panicked relative asking for money, or a photograph of a crime that never happened, all of these can now be conjured from the digital ether by artificial intelligence. This is the age of synthetic media, and standing as the bulwark against this tide of digital deception is the rapidly evolving, high-stakes field of synthetic media forensics. This is not merely about spotting a bad Photoshop job. This is a scientific arms race, a battle waged in the invisible spectrums of pixel data, audio frequencies, and biological signals. It is a discipline that combines computer vision, signal processing, criminal psychology, and legal theory. It is arguably the most critical new science of the 21st century. To understand the solution, we must first understand the problem. The manipulation of media is as old as media itself. In the 19th century, photographers manipulated negatives to create spirit photography, claiming to capture ghosts. In the 20th century, regimes famously airbrushed purged officials out of photographs, leaving behind only empty spaces and the faint shadow of history rewriting itself. But these were manual, labor-intensive processes. They required skill, time, and access to physical negatives. The digital revolution of the 1990s and 2000s introduced tools like Adobe Photoshop, making manipulation easier but still requiring human artistry. A skilled forensic analyst could often spot the cloning of pixels or the mismatch in lighting shadows. Then came the GAN, or Generative Adversarial Network, in 2014. Invented by Ian Goodfellow, this machine learning framework changed everything. A GAN consists of two neural networks pitted against each other. One is the generator, which creates fake data, and the other is the discriminator, which tries to detect it. The generator learns from its mistakes, getting better and better until the discriminator can no longer tell the fake from the real. It was automation applied to deception. From GANs, we moved to diffusion models and large language models. Suddenly, creating a photorealistic image of the Pope in a Balenciaga puffer jacket or a video of a celebrity playing golf didn't require a special effects studio. It required a text prompt and a few seconds of computing time. The barrier to entry dropped to zero. The volume of synthetic media skyrocketed, and the forensic community realized that human intuition was no longer enough. Synthetic media forensics is not a monolith. It is a collection of specialized disciplines, each targeting a different type of fabrication. We have deepfakes, which involve face swaps and reenactment. These replace the face of one person with another, or manipulate the facial expressions of a target to say things they never said. The forensic challenge here is often temporal. The flaw is usually found in the movement over time, the subtle jitter that occurs between frames. Then there are entirely synthetic persons. Websites generate faces of people who have never been born. While these images are often perfect in the center, they tend to fall apart at the edges. Forensic analysts look for surreal backgrounds or mismatched accessories, like earrings, that differ on each ear. We also have text-to-image and text-to-video generation. These engines create scenes from scratch, but often struggle with the laws of physics. Reflections might not match the object, fingers might be snarled, and text in the background is often gibberish. Perhaps most dangerously, we have audio cloning. I can now clone a person's voice with just 3 seconds of reference audio. The human ear is easily fooled, but the machine is not. Synthetic voices often lack the subtle microtremors of human vocal cords and the natural breathing patterns of a biological speaker. If AI is the criminal, synthetic media forensics is the detective. But unlike Sherlock Holmes looking for footprints, these detectives look for mathematical artifacts. Let's delve into visual forensics and the invisible clues hidden in the pixels. One of the most fascinating breakthroughs in this field is the analysis of biological signals, specifically photoplethysmography, or PPG. When your heart beats, it pumps blood into your face. This causes a microscopic change in the color of your skin, too subtle for the human eye to see, but visible to a camera sensor. Real video contains this pulse signal. The skin gets slightly redder, then paler, in perfect rhythm with a heartbeat. Most deepfakes are generated frame by frame or by mapping texture onto a mesh. They do not simulate a cardiovascular system. A forensic tool like Intel's Fake Catcher looks for this heartbeat. If the subject in the video has no pulse, they are a digital ghost. Another area of analysis is gaze and blinking. In the early days of deepfakes, the algorithms didn't know how often humans blinked, resulting in unblinking, staring faces. While this has been corrected, gaze convergence is still a weak point. When a real person looks at a camera, their eyes converge on a specific focal point. In deepfakes, the eyes are often generated independently. A geometric analysis often reveals that the left eye is looking at a different point in space than the right eye, creating a subtle divergence that the brain registers as uncanny, but the computer registers as fake. Then we have frequency analysis. An image is just data. We usually view it in the spatial domain, which is pixels arranged in rows and columns. But forensic analysts can convert the image into the frequency domain using a Fourier transform. Real cameras leave a specific noise fingerprint based on their sensor. Generative AI leaves a different kind of fingerprint. In the frequency spectrum, upscaling artifacts often appear as checkerboard patterns because GANs generate images at low resolution and then upscale them. These distinct patterns are invisible to the naked eye, but glow like a neon sign in a frequency histogram. Physics consistency is another major indicator. The real world obeys the laws of physics. Light travels in straight lines. Reflections in the eyes, known as corneal reflections, must match the environment. Forensic experts analyze the specular highlights in the eyes. If the reflection in the left eye shows a window, the right eye must also show that window, distorted correctly by the curvature of the cornea. Generative AI often paints eyes that look realistic individually, but do not match each other or the scene's lighting source. Moving to audio forensics, we find the ghost in the machine. Audio deepfakes are arguably more dangerous than video because we are less critical of what we hear, especially over the phone. Spectral analysis is key here. Human speech covers a specific range of frequencies. However, many telephone lines and compression algorithms cut off high frequencies. AI models, when generating audio, often struggle to replicate the noise floor, which is the natural silence between words, or the high-frequency harmonics of real speech. A spectrogram, which is a visual representation of audio frequencies over time, can reveal cuts where the audio phase doesn't line up, or robotic smoothness in frequencies that should be chaotic. We also look at breathing and pause patterns. Humans need to breathe. We take micro-breaths between sentences. We pause to think. Our pitch rises when we are stressed and lowers when we are calm. Early AI voices were too perfect. They never breathed. Modern AI adds breathing sounds, but often in the wrong places, such as in the middle of a phrase, rather than at a comma. Forensic linguists analyze the prosody, the rhythm and intonation, to catch these unnatural cadences. However, this field is a constant game of cat and mouse. The field of forensics is not static, it is reactive. Every time a forensic researcher publishes a paper on how to detect deepfakes, the creators of deepfakes read it and update their models to hide that flaw. When forensics noticed deepfakes didn't blink, creators trained models on blinking datasets. When forensics noticed the lack of a heartbeat, newer diffusion models began simulating subsurface scattering and skin texture variations that mimic blood flow. When forensics noticed frequency artifacts in the background, attackers began applying Gaussian noise or recompressing the video to scrub these high-frequency artifacts, a technique known as anti-forensics. This has led to the development of adversarial training. Forensic detectors are now being used during the creation process of deepfakes to tell the generator, "I can spot you, try again," until the generator produces something undetectable. This cycle implies a frightening truth. Passive detection eventually fails. We cannot rely solely on analyzing the pixels. We need a new approach, because the societal impact is massive. The stakes of this technology extend far beyond spotting a fake celebrity video. Take democracy and elections. The 2024 global election cycle saw the first major deployment of weaponized synthetic media. In Slovakia, just days before an election, a fake audio recording was released, where a candidate appeared to discuss rigging the vote. It went viral during a media blackout period, meaning the candidate couldn't legally go on TV to debunk it. He lost the election. In New Hampshire, a robocall mimicking Joe Biden told voters to stay home. Forensics is the only shield preventing the complete hijacking of the democratic process. The ability to quickly verify or debunk a video within hours is now a matter of national security. Then there is the liar's dividend. This is a perverse side effect of deepfakes. As the public becomes aware that anything can be faked, real evidence loses its power. A politician caught on tape accepting a bribe can simply shrug and say, "It is a deepfake." This is the liar's dividend. The benefit dishonest actors get from the existence of synthetic media. Forensics is needed not just to expose the fake, but to authenticate the real. We need to be able to prove, mathematically, that a video is genuine, to prevent truth from being dismissed as fiction. Financial crime is another frontier. In 2024, a finance worker in Hong Kong was tricked into transferring $25 million to scammers. He was suspicious at first, but then he joined a video conference call. He saw his chief financial officer and several other colleagues. They looked real. They sounded real. They were all deepfakes. The worker was the only real person on the call. This social engineering 2.0 renders traditional security training obsolete. You cannot tell employees to verify with a call if the voice on the call can be cloned. Forensic tools must now be integrated into communication platforms to flag synthetic video in real time. In the legal system, courts rely on video evidence like dashcam footage, body cams, and CCTV. If a defendant produces a video showing them at a restaurant during the time of a murder, how does the jury know it is real? Legal forensics is booming. Expert witnesses are no longer just analyzing bullet trajectories. They are analyzing video compression artifacts. We are moving toward a future where every piece of digital evidence must come with a chain of custody certificate to be accepted in court. Since detection is a losing battle because AI will eventually become perfect, the industry is pivoting toward provenance. Instead of trying to detect if an image is fake, we should try to verify if it is real. This brings us to C2PA and content credentials. The Coalition for Content Provenance and Authenticity is a major industry standard, supported by tech giants and media organizations. The idea is to create digital nutrition labels. When a photo is taken, the camera cryptographically signs the file. This signature records the date, time, location, and the fact that it was captured by a sensor, not generated by an algorithm. If you edit the photo in Photoshop, that edit is recorded in the history. When a user sees the image online, they can verify the entire history of the image. If the signature is broken or missing, the user knows to be skeptical. Companies are also developing invisible watermarking. Techniques are being created to embed invisible watermarks into AI-generated content. These aren't stamps on the image, they are statistical patterns woven into the pixels or the audio waveform. Even if you crop, rotate, or change the color of the image, the watermark remains detectable by software. However, this requires the cooperation of the AI companies, and open-source models present a loophole. In conclusion, synthetic media forensics is not a magic wand. It is a shield that requires constant maintenance. We are moving into a zero-trust world for media. In the past, we assumed a photo was real until proven fake. In the future, we must assume digital content is synthetic until proven authentic. The forensic analysts, the algorithm hunters, and the provenance architects are the new guardians of our shared reality. Their work is the difference between a society grounded in facts and one lost in a hallucination. As AI grows more powerful, the forensic lens must grow sharper. The war for truth has only just begun.